Actress Heather Locklear is best known for her long-running stints in Dynasty and Melrose Place. But with the exception of a Golden Globe nomination for her work on the ABC sitcom Spin City in 2002, the next chapter was not as kind to the actress. She managed to keep up appearances by landing a few guest starring roles, but off-camera, Locklear was living a very different life. One that was a far cry from the glittering A-list status she'd previously enjoyed. Let's take a look inside the double life of Heather Locklear. Rock star husbands. Locklear married Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee in 1986, and their unlikely union came as a shock to many. Jeff Giles wrote for Ultimate Classic Rock. Lee, like his Motley Crue bandmates, was rightly perceived as a reckless hedonist. Locklear, meanwhile, had a virginal reputation. The heavy metal band was even accused of devil worship during the satanic panic of the mid-'80s, though Locklear brushed that off, telling people, "Tommy doesn't worship the devil, he worships me." The romance didn't last, and the two divorced in '94. But Locklear wasn't done with rock stars just yet. Before the year was out, she was married to Bon Jovi guitarist Richie Sambora. 11 years later, the actress abruptly filed for divorce. According to People, she discovered some provocative pictures in an email sent to her husband by her friend, actress Denise Richards. Locklear never confirmed the rumors, and Sambora went on to date Richards on and off for several years. Personal struggles. In March of 2008, a 911 operator answered a call from Locklear's concerned doctor. According to the Huffington Post, the doctor had prescribed antidepressants to Locklear, but had become concerned that she might overdose on them. He told emergency dispatchers,
"I have a patient, or I have a feeling she's suicidal, and I would want someone to go there."
Officers obliged and went to Locklear's home, but when they arrived, the actress claims the whole thing was a misunderstanding. A source told People she was talking to a friend. She was bummed about something and the person overreacted. "Heather's doing great. She seems really happy." But despite claims from Locklear's nearest and dearest that she was doing fine, in June 2008, she quietly checked herself into a rehab facility in Arizona, reportedly to overcome anxiety and depression. Locklear's rep said in a press release, she requested an in-depth evaluation of her medication and entered into a medical facility for proper diagnosis and treatment. This is a confidential medical matter, and no further statement will be released. Locklear reportedly spent 4 weeks undergoing treatment, which included spa sessions and horse riding, and it apparently did the actress a world of good. A friend told People, "Heather's feeling really great, and she looks beautiful, just radiant. She told a really funny story, and she laughed from her core, and that's when I knew she was going to be fine." I think that's the best part of all. It's so nice to hear her laugh. Those close to her made it seem as though it was back to business as usual for the actress, and the story simply went away. But in the months that followed, the cracks in Locklear's radiant armor began to show again. Arrest for DUI. According to People, in 2008, Locklear was arrested and charged with driving under the influence after someone called 911 after witnessing her driving erratically. In the end, Locklear pleaded no contest to reckless driving, and in exchange, the DUI vanished. The official line was that Locklear hadn't been drinking that day, but had actually been unknowingly impaired by the meds she was taking. Santa Barbara Deputy District Attorney Lee Carter told the New York Daily News she had prescription medication in her system that could have impaired her ability to safely drive a motor vehicle. The plea deal that Locklear's attorney thrashed out with prosecutors requiring her to take part in 3 years of informal probation, as well as a 12-hour DMV road and safety class. She was also slapped with a $700 fine, but emerged from the situation with her reputation only slightly tattered. Getting physical. Following her failed marriages to rock stars, Locklear decided to try dating an actor, and coupled up with Melrose Place co-star Jack Wagner, her one-time on-screen husband on the show. These two seemed like the perfect match when they first began stepping out in public together in 2007, and by August 2011, they announced that they were going to marry in real life. But just a few months later, Locklear's rep confirmed to The Hollywood Reporter that the wedding was off. And according to Star Magazine, things got a little crazy between the ex-lovers when Wagner showed up at Locklear's house to return some of her belongings. An argument ensued, and the two allegedly got into a physical altercation. A source close to the couple revealed a huge argument erupted as they insulted each other's families. As Heather went to her car, Jack lunged at her, trying to grab or push her. Her reaction was to swing. She caught Jack with a right hook across his face, knocking him to the ground. Initially, it looked as though Locklear and Wagner would be heading to court on battery charges, but no charges were pressed on either side, and both parties moved on. A dangerous mix. Paramedics were once again called to Locklear's home in January of 2012. According to TMZ, her sister made a panicked 911 call after discovering Locklear had ingested a dangerous mixture of prescription drugs and alcohol. A spokesperson for the Ventura County Sheriff's Department told People. Emergency response personnel responded to a medical emergency call at Miss Locklear's residence. Once they arrived, it was determined that Miss Locklear needed to be transported to the hospital for further medical attention. Speculation was rife that the actress had made an attempt on her own life, but the actress and her family claimed it was an accidental overdose. A hospital spokesperson told the New York Daily News, her parents want everyone to know that it was not a suicide attempt. She's not in any danger and she's just fine. She's resting comfortably, and when she's not resting, she's talkative and alert in good condition. Worse than it seemed. In January 2017, Locklear released a statement claiming that she was feeling great in response to a rumor that she'd re-entered rehab. The actress said she was ready to go full steam ahead in 2017, but in September of that year, she ran her Porsche off the road. Emergency dispatch audio revealed that Locklear pulled herself free of the crash before a rescue crew or paparazzi arrived. Most outlets reported that Locklear had simply veered into a ditch, but a 911 call obtained by TMZ told a different story. The caller can be heard telling the dispatcher that the car had crashed into a creek and was 10 feet or more from the roadside.
Is there anything else? Was there anyone in there?
Yeah, there is a car. There is a person in the car.
Locklear was hospitalized, indicating that the accident was actually worse than she let on. Entertainment Tonight later reported that she had broken her collarbone. Interestingly, as soon as the authorities became aware of her identity, it seems they may have wrapped things up as swiftly as possible. The deputy told the radio dispatcher on the call, "It's a celebrity. She's huge." And the dispatcher responded, "I'll let the sheriff's office know and they'll probably get out there a little quicker." Locklear once again escaped charges. Law enforcement officials concluded neither drugs nor alcohol were to blame for the accident. Lashing out at the cops. In February 2018, Locklear was arrested on suspicion of felony domestic violence and battery on a sheriff's deputy after her brother reportedly showed up at her house and found her fighting with boyfriend Chris Heiser. According to TMZ, Locklear's brother reportedly called 911 when the violence started getting out of hand, but when law enforcement turned up, the actress reportedly became irate. A source told Entertainment Tonight she was furious her brother got the police involved and she was in no state to be able to have a normal thinking conversation. She was out of control. She was screaming at the police and went on the attack. She physically fought the police and they had to handcuff her to control her. This version of events was seemingly confirmed by the Ventura County Sheriff's Department, who told the Los Angeles Times that Locklear's behavior was extremely hostile and uncooperative, and she at one point became combative with the deputies. An insider told Entertainment Tonight that Locklear has a habit of projecting an image of normalcy, though she may be battling personal problems behind the scenes. The source said, "It's sad she lets things get this out of control before she gets help." In September 2017, Locklear posted lovey-dovey messages about Heiser to her Instagram, calling her high school sweetheart her first love and final love, and her favorite person on earth. But Heiser found himself in handcuffs after being busted for DUI just hours after the alleged domestic violence incident. We certainly hope the Heather Locklear we love finds a way to merge her private and public personas into a strong and healthy identity. Thanks for watching. Click the Nicki Swift icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.